then hello again to my talk. I will present a study on autonomous as-built documentation with Elect Robot and LiDAR SLAM. So what is the motivation of our talk? Is the increased importance of as-built or as-is documentation in construction, because for many use cases you need a detailed knowledge about the actual as-built situation. For example, for the comparison of as planned, as designed versus as built. However, in practice, at least in Germany, it's not very common to do a very detailed as-built documentation. And the reason is that existing methods are costly and labor intensive. So what could be a solution? Solution is could be to automate this process by using uncrewed vehicles or robots. And this is exactly part of our research. We research new methods how to capture data, reality capturing on construction sites using robots. However, when doing so, you have to overcome three challenges. The first one is you need to estimate the position of the robot very precisely and continuously whilst capturing the data. Second, you need, of course, a sensor for detailed reality capture, like a laser scanner. And third, for construction sites, especially you need a robot that is able to climb obstacles or to avoid obstacles. We have chosen the Spot robot. I think many of you know this robot from Boston Dynamics. It's a Elect robot, as you can see. And we equipped this robot with a LiDAR scanner, with different kinds of scanners, to be honest. But in this study, however, we used a solid state LiDAR scanner. That means this is a scanner that is able to do a kinematic laser scanning. It consists of 128 channels, a 360-degree horizontal field of view, and roughly 42-degree vertical field of view. In addition, we mounted the Raspberry Pi as an interface between the LiDAR scanner and the robot control, also for data storage. And because in this study we evaluated the accuracy of the SLAM algorithms, we use also a total station. You can see here in this part of the picture for tracking the robot to have ground truth for the trajectory, and also geodetic laser scanners as ground truth for the point clouds. Okay, the focus in this study or in this presentation is the evaluation or the comparison of three different SLAM algorithms. We used three open source algorithms: KISS-ICP, FastLIO2, and LIO-SAM 6-axis. These algorithms are open source, so you can download it, and they have different capabilities, I would say. I don't want to go into much details, but in this table, for example, you can see in the second column IMU. So this Auster scanner consists of an inertial measurement unit, which is a common sensor for navigation tasks. And as you can see, two of the algorithms are using this IMU for position estimation. One does not. And also the way, the method, how the trajectory is estimated is different. One algorithm uses ICP, iterated closest point. The other one, a Kalman filter, or this vector graph optimization. Okay, how do we perform the evaluation? We choose three different environments. The first one is a hallway. It's a long corridor, 70 meters long, with glass panes and flat surfaces. Second, a cellar in the basement of our building. This is the most challenging environment, as you can see here in the pictures. It's not working properly. So we have many obstacles, small rooms, and the navigation is close to obstacles. And the third case is a stairwell connecting two floors, so the robot has to climb the stairs. And here you can see some pictures and also point clouds we have captured in this environment. How did we capture the data? The Spot robot has a so-called auto walk mode, so it's embedded. That means you can teach the robot a route in the building or on a construction site. and then the robot learns this route. And to support him for the navigation, you can put at some places these markers, and these markers are detected from the robot automatically, and so the robot can reposition itself. And by doing so, the robot is able to walk this route multiple times autonomously, and you can also define some actions, for example, starting data capturing, stopping data capturing, and so on. And in this way, we captured the data for these different environments multiple times. Okay, what are the results? First of all, we evaluated the accuracy of the position estimation. So on the left-hand side, you can see the absolute position error. That means we tracked the robot with a total station, and we calculated the position differences and calculated this root mean square error. And as you can see, the accuracy is about 5 centimeters for the hallway for all algorithms. For the sterile, it's slightly worse. It's about 5 to 10 centimeters. And for the cellar, well, it's a little bit heterogeneous. The second algorithm, FastLIO2, performs best with around 8 centimeters. The other two, the accuracy decreases up to 25 to 35 centimeters. Right-hand side, then the relative position error. In this case, we only compared two consecutive positions, so one position to the next one. What is the deviation in this case? As you can see now, the picture is more homogeneous, so the accuracy is around 5 to 7 centimeters for the hallway in the cellar for all algorithms, and for the stairwell, it's a little bit better, about 3 to 5 centimeters. Second, we evaluated also the accuracy of the point clouds. Therefore, we capture the whole scenes with a geodetic laser scanner that has an accuracy of around 3 millimeters, so it's more or less ground truth. And then we calculate the cloud-to-cloud distances to all captured point clouds. And again, what you can see, the second algorithm, the FastLIO2, performs best. So the cloud-to-cloud distances at, again, as root mean square error, is between 4 and roughly 6 centimeters. For the other algorithms, it's worse. So, for example, in the cellar, you can see that the accuracies or the deviation goes up to 60 centimeters. On the right-hand side, you can see a table what gives you a part of the reason why this is the case. The FastLIO algorithms delivers really high resolution point clouds, whereas the other algorithms are delivering sparse point clouds. And this is most likely a reason why the accuracy is also better. Here we have some pictures. The left-hand side, KISS ICP point cloud for one scene, and the right-hand side, FastLIO2. And as you can see, the left point cloud is sparse compared to the dense point cloud on the right-hand side, and the colors indicate the deviations. And you can see for the FastLIO algorithm, the deviations are only at some distinct locations, whereas for KISS ICP, it's more smeared over the whole point cloud. For LIOSAM, it looks quite the same than for the KISS ICP algorithms. Also here we have a sparse point cloud, and also the accuracies are, or the deviations are smeared over the whole point cloud. This brings me to the conclusions. So key findings are, from the 3 algorithms we have tested, the second one is best and delivers a good performance for the position estimation as well as for the point clouds. And for us, well, one conclusion is, well, it's possible to do the automatic as-built documentation in the centimeter range, which might be suitable for some applications, not for all applications. For example, for true-to-deformation analysis, it's not good enough. However, for other cases, it should work. And in future work, we plan to evaluate our method also in other settings, for example, outdoor settings. And also we want to integrate semantic information, because currently we only do the evaluation on the geometric level. That's all from my side. Thank you very much.